Follow along with me today, and we're going to go over a stretch to be able to limber up the entire body. First thing we're going to be able to go over is a couch stretch. You're going to need a couch, you're going to need a bed, you're going to need a bench. I'm going to use my footstool here. What you're going to do, you're going to come down to the ground. One foot's going to be out in front of you. You're going to place your other foot up on the couch behind you, or the footstool. You're going to get your knee as close to the bench, to the couch, to the footstool as possible, and then you're going to press yourself up with this front leg at 90 degrees, your butt going back towards your heel here. If you need a cushion, if you need, I'm going to go ahead and start my timer here. If you need a pillow, something below your knee to give it a little bit of cushion so it's not so hard on your knee, feel free to do so. But make sure that as you're sitting back here into this couch stretch, opening up the hip flexor, you're not overextending in the abdomen and the spine. You need to suck in, pull, and almost push this hip flexor forward, all right, as you keep yourself upright, and that's going to intensify the stretch, but also target where we're actually trying to loosen up. We're just holding here for time, all right? We're already 30 seconds in, and we're going for a minute each side. All right? You want to be able to breathe through this. Some deep breaths here. As you come in and out, you can reach up the same side that's down, reaching up towards the ceiling to stretch out that and lengthen that entire side. And we're going to go ahead and switch here. Place your hands on the ground, foot on the ground, and switch. Knee goes back up against that footstool, butt comes up close against that heel, front leg out at 90, pushing your hip forward here, sucking the abs in, and you can extend that hand up in the air just to lengthen out once again. Some deep breaths here as we go along. Another 30 seconds. We're going to go through a total of 9 movements today. This being movement number 1. We'll come down on the ground after this on our butts. Let's get 2 more deep breaths. One more. And you can go ahead, relax out. Come down to the ground. And we're going to go into a figure 4 stretch here. Your legs are going to be out in front of you. We'll start with the right side. You're going to take your right leg, place it over top of the left here. Take your left arm, place it over top of the knee. And you want to turn so that you're twisting in the spine here, putting some pressure here against the knee. As you put some pressure against the knee with your elbow, you're going to feel that stretch up into the back, but you don't want to slouch over. You want to make sure you're sitting up straight. Get your hand here as close to your body as possible as you look over your shoulder. And we're taking a couple deep breaths, opening up the hip here, not letting it slouch or slump over, keeping everything tense. As we tense up and we hold, and when we let go, we relax. So we just hold here. And we can go ahead and relax out. We'll switch to the other side. Your left leg's going to come over top of your right leg. Your right elbow is going to come on top of your left knee. You're going to look over your left shoulder, and we're going to hold. Feel that stretch up through the outside of the hip. Feel that stretch up through the spine, through the armpit, and through the lat muscles, up through the neck. And just hold. Good. We're going to go into a bridge hold next, just to activate the hips, activate the glutes, and get everything moving as the way it should. You're going to lay down on your back. You're going to bridge up, driving through your heels here. Keep your feet flat, but put the tension, drive through your heels. Get the backside activated. We're just going to hold here, almost like you're rolling back on the back of your shoulders. You can walk yourself towards your feet a little bit more. Keep driving up and through and hold. You're going to start to separate your legs a little bit, bringing the pelvis through, sucking in the abs. You don't want to overextend. You want the back flat. And we hold. Again, a couple deep breaths here. Just opening up, loosening up the lower body here. We're going to go into the upper body and start to loosen up the shoulders after this. And we'll go ahead and we'll come down. You're going to flip over onto all fours. We're going to go into a thread the needle. All right. So you're going to take your right hand here, and you're going to keep your left hand down right in front of your knee, and you're threading the needle through like you're trying to reach towards the wall. On the opposite side, you can look up towards the ceiling, placing some pressure down into the ground, back and forth. All right. You can stay with me, or you can go at your own speed. If you want to speed it up, really reach through, that's fine. But I like to go slow. I like to feel it up through my back here, into the armpit, and twisting, opening up the thoracic spine, dropping down, stretching out the shoulder, stretching out the arms, back and forth here. And then we're going to come down to the ground here. Get my stool out of the way. We're going to come down to the ground and we're going to do some handcuffs. All right. Now, sorry about the speaker here. It's on my shirt. Move that right here so you guys can hear me. And now what we're going to do, handcuffs, it's going to be just as it sounds. You're going to arch up, taking your hands, placing them and trying to reach up and keeping as much distance between your hands and your low back as possible as you bend and you pretend to get handcuffed here. And you move your shoulders back forward, bring your palms together, head down, and you reach up and over, trying to lift your elbows up the whole time. Keeping the back stretched, keeping the shoulders, and we're opening them up here. There's 2. We're going to do 3 more. 2 more. One more deep breath in. And release. Good. Let's go into swimmers right after this. All right. Swimmers. They're just like Superman's, but we're doing opposite sides here. So you're going to lift your left leg, right arm, right leg, back and forth, as if you have strings tied to your ankles, to your wrists, and they're getting lifted towards the ceiling. Just working the low back, working the hips, the glutes, the shoulders, back and forth. Good. Now, let's go into a one-legged downward dog. Get my mic back on real quick for you guys. And we're going to come into a down dog here. All right. We're going to focus on one leg at a time. Pushing ourselves up into a down dog, getting our hips up, our head by our ears here. And then we're going to cross one leg over. I'm going to focus on my right leg, or my left leg forward, my right leg's behind, into this down dog, dropping our hips side to side, just focusing on one leg at a time right now. Good, back and forth here. And then you're going to switch. You're going to place your right foot down, your left foot behind, pushing yourself down so that your heel is flat on the ground, feeling that stretch up through the calf, up into the back here and the shoulders, getting your hips as high as you can as you drop side to side. And if you deal with a little bit of ankle tightness, like I do myself, you might feel that stretch here in the back of the Achilles. And as time goes on, you'll feel that start to loosen up. Back and forth here. And then you're going to keep your hands where they're at. Put both feet behind you. I'm going to come right through. I'm going to turn into an up dog here. Stretching your feet out. Pinching your shoulders back. Dropping your head back. Bringing your hips to your hands. All right. And holding. You should feel that stretch up through the low back, curving the spine through the middle, and all the way up through the neck. We're almost done here. Got one more stretch right after this. And we're gonna go ahead, we'll come to our knees, and we're gonna finish out with a good morning. You can do this from a standing position. I like to do it from a kneeling position just so I can feel it a little bit more in my back. And we're doing a stretch right now. You're gonna place your hands right on your waistline here. You're going to push your butt backwards as you lean forward here, almost like you're bowing down, going into a good morning, stretching out the backside here, feeling it into the hamstrings, and then pulling your hips through. Pushing your butt back, leaning forward, keeping your shoulders back, and pulling your hips through. Back and through. We're just opening up the hips here, working the glutes, working a hinging movement, finishing out our stretch for the day. Two more. Last one. And we're done. You guys can feel free, go through this stretch again, rewatch this video, follow along again, or feel free to run it on your own. You can't stretch enough, so take this bonus day, fill it with some stretches, feel good going into the week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.